It was so weird because right before I did this sketch, a friend of mine said her boyfriend said to her that I should be doing like renovations. People are imagining how their houses will look. He said I should work for builders or I should work for people renovating their home, like imagine all the different textures and surfaces and materials they want to use. And then not even a day later, this person messaged me. Jessica says, would you ever do one for someone trying to design their house? The timing was just so weird. I knew I had to do it. So Jessica and I scheduled a call and she brain dumped everything that she wanted to do with this house. I wrote down notes and we did a mock-up. I asked her to send me a ton of pictures with reference photos. This is what her house looks like now. She wanted a white brick, concrete porch, thicker poles, ferns, little brick wall around the porch, caps around the columns, rocking chairs, different light fixtures, a barn-style garage door. And it seems like a lot, so I put everything down in a messy mock-up. This is the first time I've done this, so it is a little messy. So in the future, if I do it again, I will be making a nicer mock-up. I also asked her to send me a picture with the exact angle that she wanted, and I thought this one would look really beautiful with a corner angle so that she could see all the ferns and all the columns all the way down the house. This way she could get a really nice feel for what the house will actually look like, and not just the front view. So I got to work on the pencil sketch. After I was done the pencil sketch, I inked it, and this is one of my favorite parts. I mean, who am I kidding? All of it is my favorite part. But it's weird how much I love watching the replay of the sketch and seeing all the ink come together. We embellished a lot of gardens and we added some window boxes. She wanted to change the light fixtures, so we added them around the garage. And she really liked the look of ferns between the poles, so we added those. I had to make the poles a little bit thicker than what she had in her photo. While Jessica and I were talking, she sent me these photos of what the house looked like before she started doing renovations. They added onto it and they're modernizing it to give it a sort of modern barn feel. It was also beautiful before and it looks like it was really well taken care of by the previous owner. But what she's doing to it is giving it a sort of chic, modern barn feel, like a sort of country style. So I kept inking to add in these slats. And keep in mind, my style is not an exact replica of what the house will look like. It is meant to reflect the actual materials and the textures, but it's a loose style. It's meant to be a piece of artwork that combines sort of realism, but also with a loose ink style. I honestly don't even know how I ended up with this style. It's just my style. And it's one of the things that people come to me for because because it looks a little different than what they normally see. But I don't really know. So if you do like the style, leave a comment and let me know why, because I don't really know. So I started adding some color to it, and it always looks super flat when you first start adding color. This style is actually kind of like watercolor where you have to build up your layers. So I always have like a ton of layers of color, which is why it takes me so long to do this. So I always start with a super light color and then I build up from lightest to darkest using my markers. These are professional style markers. They're called Copic markers. And I also use Ohuhu markers. Every custom sketch that I do is always on acid-free paper, so that helps prevent it from yellowing. But it's always recommended that you keep it out of direct sunlight so that you protect the color. These are alcohol-based markers, so they dry really fast, which is why I don't end up with paint or marker all over my hands. And if you watch closely, you can see the time pass in this video because the sun is slowly creeping onto this photo because I'm sitting right next to the window. Here I'm starting to add a couple of my darker layers, and this I have to be really careful with. You will see a couple of mistakes, but they're always fixed in the end. I ended up shutting my curtains because it ended up getting too bright, and I obviously want to protect the artwork from the sunlight. So you'll have to excuse the yellow light. That's just the sun beaming in next to me. I forgot to record the finished part of it, but you'll see the picture of it in a moment. I sent it over to her and she was so excited. She said she was crying. She posted this on Facebook saying she was having a hard time imagining it. And she said I fulfilled her hometown HGTV dream, which kind of made my day because I never really considered that that's kind of what I'm doing. I just really love sketching homes and buildings and architecture. So here's the final piece. You can see the gardens with some flowers, the barn door and the light fixtures. You can see the poles are thicker. She got her white brick. And here's the final piece. What do you think? Send me a message if you're renovating and you're having a hard time imagining what it'll look like when it's done.